How's it going, everyone? Marriland here, and I'm back on the Hermitcraft Feed the Beast server. Oh yeah, doesn't look like they kicked me off or anything. So, yeah, today I'm going to go ahead and just kind of set up shop around here. I found a cool little swamp biome place, some rubber trees, some sheeps. And a nice little cave over there that had some cool ore. Now it's currently dark out, but I don't see anything around that looks too threatening, so hopefully it stays that way. Last time I brought 6 steak from spawn, and that's about it. So, gonna make everything from scratch. Let's go ahead and start by making some planks. Now, for the most part, the beginning phases of Feed the Beast are very similar to just vanilla Minecraft. You gotta start by punching a tree, getting some wood, making a crafting table, and then doing some stuff. Now, I'm going to start by making the... Oops, I need one more wooden plank. I'll make a few more of those. Going to make the one wooden tool I ever need is the wooden pickaxe. It drives me crazy when people make like a full wooden tool set of, like a wooden sword and a wooden axe, because you know what? Look, I just got done mining a bunch of stone, well, like 4 stone, but I'm not going to need any wooden tools after I've gotten this stone. So I just usually make the pick and then be done with it. It just saves so much, like, inventory space and so much wood for that matter. So, pick up some cobblestone. This should be very familiar to you if you played any Minecraft at all. And then once you've gotten that, let's just go ahead and make... Dun 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 dun! The stone pickaxe. Yeah, there's something really exciting. Let's make a shovel. Cool. Yeah, I guess I'll make a sword. And I need an axe, too. Now, there's one other cool tool that I will show you. It's called the Treetap, and I kind of mentioned that in the last episode, too. That's how you get the rubber. So, a Treetap. Here's what we do. You can actually... Oh, this is really important. See all this stuff on the side? I know in part 1, DMAC was kind of talking about this, and I was showing you it. This isn't some kind of like cheat mode thing or anything like that. No, it's called Not Enough Items, or NEI. And it's basically just this giant library of all the items. All the items in the game. And you can click on any of them. Just single click or left click it. And it will show you the recipe to make it. Cool. On top of that, you can also, while you're hovering over it, you can press U. And it will show you any items that use that in its recipe. So for instance, with this dispenser... that can make a cart dispenser if I had a mine cart, an item loader if I had this detector item. And, it can make a whole bunch of stuff. That's a very useful thing to learn early on in the game. It's really good to figure out what the recipes are, because there are so many items. I mean, it's just overwhelming. So knowing what things do and knowing how you make things, those are both very useful features. You can also, see this little box down here, you can type anything you want down there. So, in this case, let's type Treetap. And we'll find this. Now, just click it. And all it takes are some wooden planks arranged like that, and it'll make a Treetap. Cool. What can I do with this Treetap? On top of turning it into, well, actually a whole bunch of different things, I can make rubber. Oops, I can do something neat with that. Oh, actually, there's one more nifty thing with this. Actually, there's a whole ton, to be honest, but let's go back to that Treetap. See this question mark thing here? Well, when you're at a recipe, if you press that, it'll then kind of highlight it in your crafting table, or whatever you're using to craft things. So it's sort of like a placeholder. So, if you don't remember what the shape was, rather than having to look back and forth between those things, you can just kind of get an idea. Okay, so rubber. Now, there are actually 3 different types of rubber trees in the Ultimate Pack, at least. This one, with these little things, and you can always tell it has those 2 things sticking up at the top there. This is the standard one, and it has these little orange things that you can right-click with your Treetap to get some rubber. Now, there's another type of rubber tree that spawns kind of all over the place. These ones usually only spawn in like swampy areas. But the other ones, they look kind of brown looking. I'm not there, but it looks kind of like this thing right above this rubber here. See, it looks kind of cool. When you chop it down, it gives you both this rubber wood and this piece of rubber. It's entirely different than this rubber or the sticky resin that you'll get. I'll show you that in a moment. And then there's another kind that you can find in the jungle. And I don't remember what you do with that. There's another way you can get rubber out of it. I guess I don't know, put it in the sawmill, extract it? I don't remember. I actually haven't run into too many of those kind. But there's 3 different types of those rubber trees. So make sure you don't make the same mistake I did on my single-player world, where I found the other kind of this, built a Treetap, and I was just right-clicking all over the place. So, this thing right here, right-click that, and then boom, you'll get some sticky resin. Now, those little spots will respawn over time. And you can actually punch the kind of the sides here of the leaves, just so you can see them more often. As long as, I don't know if the whole tree has to be intact or what, but try to keep the tree itself intact. I think you can chop down the leaves just fine. But you definitely want to pick up, ooh, there we go. Got a sapling, nice. Definitely want to pick up some of that stuff, because it's very useful. Okay, I hear you baaing, sheep. So, got some rubber. That's nice. Not going to be able to do anything with it yet, but it's used in so much stuff. I strongly advise having a good rubber tree, like a rubber tree farm, or just, I don't know, a bunch of rubber plants or something set up. Not really plants, but you know what I mean. Make sure you have your rubber situation figured out early on in the game, because that way you should have enough to make cool machines and things later. You don't want to be looking for it later on in the game. And that's why a swamp is a good place to get started, or at least it's an advantage. Now, let's go down to those ores. Hey, there's DMAC. Sweet. Alright, so basic iron ore. I shouldn't need to tell you about this, but I will tell you that iron is very useful in this game. You definitely want to get as much iron as you can. Not only can you make tools with it, you can make really cool things like machines and just a ton of stuff. This ore here, I'm just mining away. Look at me. This is copper ore. You can find this at some of the higher levels. You don't have to go too deep to find copper. In fact, you can't find it too deep. You can only find it in some of the upper levels. It's also used to make a lot of different things. You can make bronze with it. You can make brass with it. You can make copper wire with it, actually. And that's used with the rubber, which is very nifty. I'll have to show you that in a moment. I want to get this coal so I can start making torches. Okay, so yeah, coal. What do I need to tell you about that? Hopefully you know what coal is. Otherwise, I don't know. You might be new to Minecraft, and getting started on Feed the Beast might be a little too much for you. Actually, I bet it'd be pretty fun. Okay, I'm going to keep my sword handy just in case. But let's go ahead and just kind of light up this area over here. Looks relatively safe for now. Wow, the whole gang's signing on now. Nice. Okay, so got some coal. This is actually a pretty decent start. I'm looking forward to exploring this. Nice. Alright, what do we have over here? This is an interesting ore. It's called apatite, I think, and it is used in some fertilizer stuff for one of the farms. It's like the multi-block farm. I think it's in forestry. And other than that, it doesn't have too much of a use. In fact, we can even just press U all over it, and yeah, you just take some sand, kind of make a sandwich, apatite sandwich, and that gets you 8 fertilizer. You can also make stamps with it. Oh, in this thing, you can actually see there's different methods of processing items, and you can scroll through those by pressing this. Now, there's this kind of fertilizer too, and a pulverizer. This is an item that I really want to start making before too long. It's very useful, because in this game, If you're used to vanilla Minecraft, you're used to just throwing your ore into a furnace and then getting the ingots and then doing cool stuff with those, right? Right. Well, that's actually not very efficient if you're playing Feed the Beast, because there's so much stuff you can do to increase your output. So, for instance, one of these copper ores, if I had the right machines for it, I could get 2 or maybe even 3 copper ingots just with those, or get some other cool stuff to go along with it. So, having things like that in place, really handy. Really handy indeed. And that's what a pulverizer is used for. There's both a pulverizer and this other thing called a macerator. They do pretty much the same thing. They grind up all of your ore into dust, which can be smelted in a furnace. And each one of those dust provides an ingot. Well, when you grind it up with one of those things, it actually gives you 2 dust instead of just 1. So you're effectively doubling your ore output. Well, this is a pretty room, isn't it? I know, it might look rather impressive, but this is that zirconium I was kind of alluding to in the first episode. It looks pretty, but it's not really used in a whole lot of different things. Looks really nice as stone bricks, though. That's what I find. So, oh, why am I typing this? I can actually just go here and press U over it. Well, you can kind of see some of the neat zirconite stuff over here. So 9 of those makes a zirconium block. You can smelt them into zirconite. Let's just see here. See? You can make like a whole ton of different things. Now there are a few special bricks, but most of these are just for decoration. Yeah. Kinda overboard. Engineering bricks. I don't know. You can do some stuff with those. Don't worry too much about picking them up. Like, when I was really new to Feed the Beast, oh man, I just wanted to get all those things, because I didn't know what they were, and they looked really cool, and man, that was a big mistake, because early on, you know, you just don't have the space in your inventory to take all this stuff with you, and when you break them, they just give you so darn much. So that's kind of unfortunate. Alright, so it comes in a bunch of different colors too. There's green, blue, red, dark, and light. And they make these zirconite when you smelt them. So, I don't know, up to you. They're a kind of nifty looking design block. They can be used to make some other things. Alright, so then there's this other ore here. Looks kind of messy. Got some white on it there. This is aluminum. And what on earth can you do with aluminum? Well, you can turn that into, you can turn the ore into aluminum. Yeah, I know, aluminum ore makes aluminum. Go figure, right? But what can you do with that? You can actually make an aluminum block with it, make those platform things, but you can also make cans. Now these kind of work like buckets in the sense that you can transport liquids around in them. Very useful. You can use these for a lot of different things, actually. You can also make aluminum torches, although it needs a sulfur torch. Make these glass viewers, which are pretty neat. They don't break when you break them like glass does. Very nice before you get silk touch. So yeah, not a ton of uses, but they're still pretty cool. Definitely pick up some, but don't go overboard. Definitely don't prioritize it. Definitely want to prioritize coal, though. Coal is definitely a very useful thing to have. Not only does it power, you know, your furnaces and make your torches, but it is used in engines, and it's used in generators. You use this as a power source, really. And I'll probably get to power sources later on. Right now I'm just trying to do some of the basic resource collection, and I'll try to avoid boring you too much. I don't think I'm going to show every last bit of me mining things. But early on, when there's all these cool looking ores and things, and the mystique is still there, I think that's the fun part. So I'll kind of go through and show you some of the basic blocks. But I'm finding a ton of copper, and I feel very good about that. I'll be able to make some cool stuff. Yeah, very soon, actually. Let's see. trying to think of what else is cool. Well, the server's pretty cool. That's one thing. Swamp biome's pretty cool. All this copper nearby is pretty sweet. Okay, I think we're going to have to start looking some stuff up, to be honest, because I'm getting a pretty decent amount of ore here. Got some coal. Got some things. And, ooh, that looks dark. Quite dark. Let me grab this iron. I think... Oh, wow, look at all that iron. Well, so far I don't see anything down there. You know what, though? Really quick, I really want to make, let me make another stone pickaxe, because I have this feeling this is going to break. So, how do I get out of here? It's pretty easy. Okay, I wonder if there's any more oh, look, see? There's some of this. I can go Treetap that. Yeah. Nice. Oops. So you can right-click it, even if there aren't any of those little orange circle things, but you don't get as much, and it'll eventually dry it out. So ideally, you should only click it if you are, you know, clicking one of those orange spots, because that'll get you the most. All right, pretty good setup here. Let's go. Oops, I need some sticks. Wow, I need to chop down another tree. My goodness. Oops, what am I doing? All right, let's go ahead and make another stone pick. Going to be upgrading before too long. And now, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and make something kind of cool. Let's make a furnace. What do you say? Again, basic Minecraft thing. Oh no, the sun's going down. Maybe I should move this somewhere else. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take this with me. I think I'm actually a little safer in that cave. Let me just chop down this tree first. It's getting in my way. Nah, I'm just kidding. I just need some logs. Okay. So, I'm going to take all this stuff with me. Head on over to that cave. Just try to stay out of the way for now. Oops, this isn't the right one. It was over this way. There we go. Alright. Already looking like home, right? Let me make a little bit more in the way of torches, and we're going to... You know what? This is starting to bother me. I'm just going to plug this thing up. There we go. Cool. Hopefully that won't let whatever monsters or baddies are lurking down here come up to fight me. Looks like it's safe so far. Feeling when I go that way, though. So, you know what? Let me just kind of block that off. There. There we go. Okay, so there's one other really useful tip. I know I keep saying there's just one other, but there's really a lot. Oh, that freaked me out for a moment. Okay, so if you press F7, by default, F7 is the key. I think you can change that. But see those red X's? Anywhere where there's a red X, that indicates somewhere that mobs can spawn. Hostile mobs, that is. And it does factor in, you know, like the daylight and stuff. So if it's day, you'll still see those red X's. It basically shows you where they'd spawn at night. Very useful if you're trying to figure out where to place your torches for maximum efficiency and to keep yourself safe. Because if you see a lot of those red X's, well, guess what? Mobs could spawn anywhere around there. And that wouldn't be pretty cool, now would it? No, not at all. So, it's a very useful thing. Does add a little bit of lag while you're playing, though, so you might want to remember to turn it off if you don't need it. But for right now, it's pretty good. I think we're relatively safe. Okay, now I was going to... I made that furnace, right? Got some coal. So let's do a really cool upgrade. First things first. Furnace. One piece of coal will smelt exactly 8 ores, or whatever you need to smelt in the furnace. That's the standard. That's the same as it is in normal old vanilla Minecraft, right? Yeah, we all know this. We all know this, so I'm going to let that smelt while I pick up some more copper here. You know, because it's right here. Might as well. Grab this coal. Nice. So good starting off and getting a ton of coal. Feel really good about that. Sometimes when you start and you just can't get any resources right away, it's like, oh man, I gotta find somewhere fun. There's so many different resources. And feed the beast, it's just crazy. Okay, now I'm just going to let it smelt all of this, but I don't want to put anything else in because I'll be able to be more efficient in just a moment here. I'll be able to make something called the Iron Furnace. In fact, let's go ahead and look that up really quick here. Iron Furnace. There it is. So, 2 recipes for this. You can either make it just with 8 iron, all smelted, and that makes 1 iron furnace. Or you can do the much more efficient method. You take a furnace and kind of make a tent of iron ingots around it. And that'll get you an iron furnace. Pretty cool, right? Let's take this thing down and let's try it out. What do you say? So we're just going to set it down here. And wait, why did I do that? I'm so silly. I forgot to upgrade it. I forgot to set down my crafting table. That's why. That's the thing I wanted. Okay, so let's set this here. And let's put that there. We'll even have 3 iron left over. Just enough for an iron pick. Sweet. There we go. Look at that. All shiny. Okay, so what makes this thing cool, huh? Well, instead of smelting 8 ore for 1 coal, this smelts 10 ore for 1 coal, plus it goes faster. In fact, I'll even show you that right now. Let's take 10 of this copper. Probably not the best use of it, but it'll work for now. I'll smelt some rubber in there in a moment. Actually, I think I need to... If I can make an extractor. Oh, there we go. So you can actually get 3 rubber if you put it in an extractor. Otherwise, you just end up getting 1 rubber. Extractors are pretty cool. I think you make those with a Treetap and a machine block, if I'm not mistaken, so it might take a little bit. Yeah, there's so many different recipes for stuff. Sometimes you have to do a lot of scrolling. And make sure you go back and forth between these. There it is. You're going to need 4 Treetaps, a machine block, and an electronic circuit. So you know how to make the Treetaps. Machine block is refined iron. And that's just iron smelted. So you just have to smelt iron ore twice. And then you'll make it. And then for the other thing is this electronic circuit, which are those copper cables, redstone, and then 1 more of those refined iron. That makes an electronic circuit. So before we make that, we're going to need... Sheep, what are you doing in here? We're going to need to make... See, look at that. Goes pretty fast, too. Yeah, we're going to need to get some more iron. Right. That's fine. We can do that. Let's make an iron pick, because you're definitely going to want to have an iron pick. You shouldn't need it for too long, though, because there are some pretty cool new tools you can get that have even better efficiency than iron and even more durability. And hopefully I can find some of them. Alright, so here's a new ore right here. This is the monazite ore. Might be pronouncing that wrong, but who knows. What on earth does this stuff do? That's a very good question. Oh, perfect. Sapphire. Sweet. I will talk about that in a moment. Okay, so this green looking ore, that's the monazite ore, and it makes this forcesium stuff when you smelt it. And that's used in this big old mod called, what is it? It's, I don't even remember what it is. It's some kind of like force field mod thing. This is some cool ore in that. I don't even remember. It's one of those mods I hadn't played around with for a while. Now, what I recommend doing, you could smelt it or pulverize it or anything really right away, but unless you're really set on using that for cesium stuff, save it for later. Because once you get this industrial grinder, and that's going to be later on in the game, but once you get it, you get so much more of it, plus you get this. That's the thorium dust. And it's not going to make any sense to you right now, unless you already know Feed the Beast, but it's some good stuff. I got 2 words for you. Nuclear reactors, okay? Yeah, really useful in that. Okay, so got some of that. I'll probably just save it for later. Now we have Sapphire Ore. Now this can only be mined with an iron pickaxe or greater, so that's why I wanted to make sure I had an iron pickaxe before I got too far. And when you break it, you get a sapphire. Sweet. Oh, perfect. This is nice. So what on earth do you do with these things? Well, they look really pretty. They're not as rare as diamonds, that's for sure. In fact, as you can see, they're somewhat common. Not super duper common, but you will find quite a bit of them. You can make tools with those. Wow, 7. In this case, I can go ahead and make a sapphire pickaxe, sapphire shovel, sapphire sword, sapphire axe, sapphire sickle. Sickles are cool. They basically cut down a bunch of like, what are they, like the tall grass and the leaves or things from trees. Kind of nice to have. Sapphire hoe. Or a sapphire handsaw. You can pulverize them. You can make these crystal things later on. Actually useful. There's an alternate recipe for this. The usual recipe requires diamonds. You can substitute those for sapphires, making it much more effective. But as you can see, that's basically it. So feel free to make tools with them. They basically have the efficiency of diamond, except they have durability of about twice that of iron. So really great stuff all around. I'm going to go ahead and make me a nice sapphire pickaxe. The only downside is they can't mine obsidian. That kind of stinks. I guess while I'm here, I'll go ahead and make a sword, and I'll even have 2 left over. Can I make a shovel? Yeah, sure, why not? I'll just save one of these for later. Now, I'm going to need a chest before too long. And there's actually something kind of cool you can do with that. So, do you remember the recipe for a chest? I sure don't. No, I'm kidding. It's just a box. Right? Boom. Chest. Just like vanilla Minecraft. However, you can now upgrade your chests. In pretty much all of the mod packs, I think. Wow, there's actually chests are used in a lot of different things. You can use them in ender chests, but here's what I wanted to show you. You can make iron chests by surrounding a chest with a bunch of iron. You can make copper chests by surrounding a chest with a bunch of copper. You can also even make like diamond chests. You can make just a whole ton of different chests. Although those require an even larger version. Like you can't just, actually here, let me show you chest. Like gold, diamond. But see, you have to go from an iron chest to a gold chest. You can't just take a normal chest and surround it with gold. So they're expensive, but they do store a ton of items. I don't have a ton of items right now, so I think I'm just going to store these and take some of my other stuff with me. Let me think here. Am I out of iron? Yes, I am. So, I don't really want to have to do this. Well, I'm probably going to need a little bit of copper. Okay, this won't be the most efficient in the world, but it'll at least get the job done. I'm going to put in 1 coal just to smelt these 2 iron. I just want some shears. That's all I need. I just want to get some wool from this sheep that keeps harassing me here. And, you know, if I were the most efficient, I'd wait until I had 10 iron, but I don't know. I'll try to smelt whatever copper I can. Don't try to go overboard smelting all of your stuff right away. Because remember, I was telling you about that Pulverizer, right? That's really where it's at. But, you know, make sure you have some stuff. Wool, that's definitely something I need. 'Cause I just realized I'm going to need a spawn point. If I die right now, I'm going to go all the way back to the actual spawn. And that'd be a bit of a walk. So let's go ahead and make a bed. Oh yeah, such a comfy bed. This is like pretty much the worst house right now. Oh, I can only sleep at night. Darn it. I thought for sure it was night out. It's so hard to tell because there's this mini map up in the top left corner. Very cool thing. Oh, that reminds me. While this is all cooking up, one extremely useful thing. It's called Waypoints. If you have that map there, you should have Waypoints enabled. All you need to do to start a waypoint is the default key, I think, is B. And that pops this weird looking screen up that wants you to type in a waypoint. So let's say, I wanted to come back here. Let's just call this my swamp base. Well, I probably don't need to say my swamp base. You get the idea. So, swamp base. You can even click here to choose a color if you want. I don't know, that lively green seemed a little weird. And just hit done. What did that do? That's a very good question. Well, if you press M, again, that's the default key. If any of these keys aren't working, you can go into Options, Controls, and then I think it's one of these keys, I don't even know, maybe it isn't on here. Actually, it might be. There's like 2 different places where you can set keys. And it doesn't even seem to be on that one. My bad. Well, it should be that by default. So you can press M, and then you can just go into waypoints. See, that shows you the waypoints. But if this is off, you can set it to either beacons, signs, or both. Both is very handy. Because see, now I can just walk over here, and I will always see that, as long as I'm within 1,000 blocks of it. Very cool. Very neat for, figuring out where I am in relation to something cool. Very neat. I know I'm probably elaborating on that quite a bit, but if you're just a new player starting out on Feed the Beast, it's just invaluable. Because on vanilla, man, I'd find somewhere cool, and then trying to remember how to get back to it, that was just the worst. This makes it so much easier. So much easier indeed. So I got some copper, got some sapphire tools. That's really cool. Really want to go get some tin. I'm going to leave a lot of these stone tools behind. Actually, I guess it doesn't hurt to bring maybe like 1 stone pick just to get rid of some of the wimpy stuff. I'll get this all set up later. Yeah, that'll do. Let me take this axe. I doubt I'll need it. Okay. Oh, I should probably go outside and just chop some wood quick. Yeah, I'll do that, and I will see you in a sec. Alright, so I went ahead and I picked up some more wood. Got some apples and some saplings and stuff. Got some more of the resin. And it's starting to get late, so I'm just going to hop in here really quick. Now again, being on a server, it won't, or maybe it will. They must be in another world right now. I think that happens, because, oh man, in Feed the Beast, you can make these ages and stuff. It's pretty neat, because it kind of sets you up in your own world, which is pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool indeed. But sometimes if you're playing on a server, when you sleep, yeah, it won't just turn to day automatically. You actually have to have everyone on the server sleep at the same time. And that's easier said than done. So, I'm testing out this Sapphire Pickaxe. Look at this thing go. This is awesome. Just so nice. It has plenty of durability. Usually if you're doing any sort of digging around in like caves and stuff, you'll be able to find more sapphires before you even use things up. Now there's actually 3 different things you can use to make these tools. And they're virtually interchangeable. I mean, you can't mix and match. But, for instance, let's take sapphire. Ooh, look at these green ones, right? There's also this green sapphire here. And it is basically just like the sapphire, except it's used in a few different recipes. Kind of neat. Kind of neat. But it makes green sapphire pickaxes, axes, shovels, swords. Same as the sapphire ones. Trust me on that. There's also ruby ones. And again, same thing. The only thing I'll say about the ruby ones is they are much more useful way later in the game. And when I say way later in the game, I really mean like way later in the game. When you're trying to do some huge fusion reactor thing, you need a lot of ruby for chrome dust. And that's, again, I'm getting way ahead of things. But if you had to choose one to save, choose ruby. But don't worry too much about it either. Because, you know, I'm talking thousands of ruby you'll need. So using 1 or 2 for a tool here and there, it's no big deal. Okay, yeah, actually, I think we're probably good to wrap things up. I don't think I did too much. Again, I don't want to just kind of zip ahead and make all the things. I know I need to come up with a good food solution. That's kind of been bothering me, and that's a problem you have in normal Minecraft, too. You always want to make sure you have good supply of food available, otherwise you're just gonna die, and that's not gonna be fun. It's a terrible, terrible way to die. Let's see. Oh, perfect. You know what? There's some mushrooms here. That is actually just what I wanted to see. Oh, you know what? I should have made some of those aluminum cans. Alright, well, before I wrap this up, let me just look over here. I already see, like, one other ore. Could be... Ooh, marble. Oh, man, this is sweet. I have a feeling there's, like... Oh, there's that other ore. There's some tin. I think this is going to be perfect to explore in the next episode, actually. So I'll save it for then. But for right now, let me just show you first these red mushrooms. I can make good old mushroom stew. That'll get me by for a little bit until I find something to do. And then, where did it go? This thing. This is Cinnabar Ore. Now, I don't know if you can mine it with a stone pickaxe. You might need iron or greater. I really should have tested that. But it is used... What do you even do with this? You make quicksilver with it when you smelt it. And yeah, you pretty much only smelt it or use a powered furnace or anything like that. Very exciting, right? Now what do you do with that quicksilver? Well, later on in the game you can use this to make like mercury cells, and that increases your output. But I think it's used a lot in Thaumcraft, which is that magical kind of mod. And I don't know, maybe I'll get into that sometime, but not for right now. But I think that's what it's used for. So, you know, if you see some of it, don't worry too much. It may or may not interest you depending on what you're doing. I know early on in the game you really got to think, oh, what do I bring with me? You can't just bring everything with you right away. Eventually you'll be able to make cool backpacks, which store so much stuff. I can't wait. In fact, let me even just show you a preview. These things are sweet. There's the normal backpacks, and then there's the Trackman's one. Or the... Yeah, no, the woven ones. That's it. Yeah, the woven ones, you need to do a lot of bee stuff before you can get those. Really worth it, though. But, oh man, it takes a long time to get those. But you can make the normal ones. Like this miner's backpack and the digger's backpack are both super, super useful. Just take some iron, a chest, some wool, and some string. So once I get some string, I'm going to be making one of these and one of the digger's ones, and eventually making a few more. That makes caving just great, because it'll automatically put those ores in the backpack while you're mining them. It's just amazing. You can just go on really long expeditions. It's just awesome. But I think that's it for this episode, so I hope you enjoyed. I know I sure did. I will see you on the next episode of Marriland's Hermitcraft Feed the Beast Adventure. If that's even what I'm going to call it. I don't know. I'll see you next time, beds.